traveling on up home. I'm about halfway home now, so that's exciting. It's been a beautiful day for traveling and not a lot of traffic, and the sun is out, the skies are clear. It's a brisk 16 degrees and I am enjoying my ride. I wanted to talk about Hostess Coaching. I don't believe that I've ever done a video in regards to coaching your hostesses prior to having a party. Now I know that I've posted live parties so that you can see what it's like. I've also talked about packaging up orders after you've had your party and that sort of thing, but I don't know that I've ever talked about Hostess Coaching. And I think it's a really important part of your party experience and your home business. So what I want to just do is a quick video in regards to what is suggested that you do in regards to coaching your hostess before she has a party. Now this is assuming you've already set a date and you are preparing to have a home party with your hostess and her or his guests. So 2 weeks prior, and typically what I do anyway is I prepare what I call a hostess pack, and in the hostess pack I provide catalogs and order forms, any specials like flyers for specials that we might be having, definitely a flyer for the warmer and scent of the month that they're having their party in. And I also do a pre-party game, and I can't link it below, but it's a tic-tac-toe game, and if you are a Scentsy consultant, you actually have access to that in your resource center of the workstation under games. And it's primarily to get your hostess to get pre-orders prior to your party, and to make sure that she has plenty of guests. There's different things that she can do in order to get a tic-tac-toe or a blackout on the tic-tac-toe board game. And then you decide what types of gifts you will give as a prize for earning a tic-tac-toe. So that's what I put together with the hostess packet, and I make sure that I also have a sample order form filled out with fake information so that they can see how to fill out the order form and not feel stranded as far as that information goes when it comes to taking orders from their people. So I put that together, and about 2 weeks prior to the date that was set for the party, I send it to them or I bring it to them. That way they can get going. Oh, also I include invitation postcards. Usually I put about 30 because you want them to invite at least 30 people, because we know that they don't all show up, right? So that's the hostess pack. Then what I'll do is about, in that 2 week period. Now what you need to make sure is once you provide that packet to your hostess, she needs to, one of two things, either provide you with a list of the guests that she would like to invite so that you can send out the postcards for her, or she sends out the postcards to her customers or her potential customers at least a week and a half before the party. You want to make sure that you get it to them in time, but you also don't want to get it to them too early that they forget about it or that they discard it. So it's up to you as the consultant and what you're providing to your hostesses, whether you will send out the postcards as a service to them, or if you will just be providing the postcards to the hostess. So that obviously is the most important part, is to get the invitations out, to invite people. Then about a week out from the party date, the hostess should be giving all of her guests a phone call, some sort of communication besides the postcard to, one, make sure they got the postcard, and two, to try and get an idea of how many books you need to put together, or guest packs you need to put together for the party. So a week out from the party, the hostess should be calling their guests to try and get an idea of how many people will be coming. Then I personally, not everybody does this, but personally, 3 days from the party, I will call the hostess, one, to make sure everything is all set, make sure that they are prepared, kind of let them get an idea of how simple it's going to be when you get there, that you just need a little spot to set up, and then some places for everyone to sit down. Definitely do not overdo the snacks. Keep it very simple. Keep it easy for them. There's a couple different things. If you're doing Velata, obviously you're going to be bringing part of the snack with you. And if you're doing Scentsy, you don't want something being served that is extremely abundant in scent, because you don't want it to affect them testing out the scents that you bring with the testers. So if the scent is overbearing, they're going to have a hard time sampling the scents. So make sure you communicate that with your hostess, and keep it simple. Chips and dip, salsa, and coffee, tea, maybe some soda, whatever. But keep it simple. You also want to make sure that your hostess is not feeling overwhelmed. So the simpler you make it, the better, right? So 3 days out, I'll call the hostess and, again, make sure everything is all set. Talk about what the setup is going to be like, what time you're going to be there, and also throw in a little incentive. If you're doing a theme party, then you want to make sure that you communicate with your hostess that if they're coming dressed as a certain theme, or if the decorations are coming as a certain theme, or maybe the guests can bring something that is contributing to the theme, or maybe even if it's a Valentine's Day party, that sort of thing. For an example, you can have anybody that wears pink, or maybe red or purple or whatever, signify a color, and everybody that wears that color will get put into a drawing for a prize. So this is an added incentive for your hostess to be able to get people to come to her party. And then on the day before or the night before, you want to call the hostess and make sure you have a good, basically a head count to see how many packets you're bringing, how many books you're bringing, what types of things they're bringing, and maybe even find out what your hostess's favorite scent is, because that can be your hostess gift, right? So that would be nice. The last part of, and this is not just for hostesses, but it's also for you, and this is something that I learned just recently, that you should call 2 weeks after the party. You should call every excuse me. You should call all of the customers yourself as the consultant for one of two reasons. One, you want to make sure that they received their order. It can happen that the hostess doesn't deliver the orders right away, or maybe doesn't deliver them at all, and then that becomes a compliance issue. But you want to follow up with them and make sure they enjoyed their order. If there's something that they didn't like, you can help them with it, and make sure that they know that you are their consultant. So when you introduce yourself, hi Sarah, this is Edie, I'm your Scentsy consultant. I did the party at Jill's the other night, and I just wanted to follow up, make sure you got your order, and how you felt about your order, and if there's anything that you could do to help them. So a follow-up call is going to be extremely important for those return customers, okay? So part of the hostess coaching is not only to check with the hostess and make sure that she has delivered the orders 2 weeks after the party, start communicating with the people that did place orders. And if you were the one that sent out the invitations, then you have a guest list, and the people that did not attend the party, you should be communicating with them as well to find out if maybe there's a different party they could go to, or maybe an individual order they wanted to place. And obviously it would have been up to the hostess to communicate with people that did not attend the party to see if there were any orders that they wanted to place to add to her party. But in the event that she did not communicate with them, you want to make sure that you are. So that's the pretty nuts and bolts, pretty simple nuts and bolts to Hostess Coaching, preparing for a party. Now this can be done with basket party as well. Obviously you will not be connecting with customers in the same way until after the party because there's no invitations that would be getting sent out. But when you're doing a basket party, let's say you give the basket party to them for 2 weeks, which I would say would be maximum time. I like 1 week. You want to make sure you're communicating with them during that time frame to see if there's anything that you can do to help them, give them ideas of where to bring the basket, answer any questions they may have gotten from some customers. But I feel that Hostess Coaching equals communication with your hostess. If you don't communicate, I can tell you right now, if you don't communicate with them, you are going to get many cancellations. So if you get people that are canceling on you, and maybe even you get to the party and there's nobody there as far as guests, then I think that you need to do better hostess coaching to provide a better party experience and outcome. So that is my tip for the day for hostess coaching. Remember that if you want something, and I'm going to speak very blatantly, if you want something, if you're going to dream about something, you need to strive for it. You need to work for it in order to achieve it. And during that process, you cannot give up. Don't give in, and always stay true to who you are. Have a great day, everyone.